What's up everybody, VB here bringing you some Gotham City Impostors gameplay, and my subs, they're over 200! Okay, it's not as dramatic sounding as the whole 9,000 thing. In this week's video we're going to be looking at those brand new community challenges. Now I know there's a bit of overlap between last week's and this week's, perhaps they've forgotten to turn off last week's, but don't complain, think of all the XP you can earn. So much delicious XP. But anyway, we're going to focus on this week's challenges, the calling cards, so on and so forth. Also, after the success of last week, I'm going to be running through my loadout again, so you'll get to see what I'm running with and my mentality towards this week's challenges. And I hope you appreciate what I'm trying to do with this class. I'm not striving to be MVP, but unfortunately fate seems to have other ideas. But you'll see what I mean when you actually get to the nitty gritty of the class. And finally, to close out the video, and sort of going back to last week's closing comments as well, I want to talk about collaborations and contributions, and just how much of an impact that has on people's channels, especially within the GCI community. Big or small, it really does matter. So before we get started, just to let you know that in the background there's a game of TDM being played on the 25th floor, with me running around with the custom class I've made up for this week's challenges. But people, personal plea, can you start playing some Fumigation and some Psych Warfare? I would love to start posting up some more gameplay, which is more objective based. Now this week's challenges are here to showcase the lighter body types, so the Speedies and the Nimbles. But that's not to say you shouldn't keep an eye out for those Mighties in the sky with the glide rigs, because they'll be out in force this week, so keep an eye out for those air cows. Thanks Traveller6131 for pointing out that slang which is on the forums. Of course I wouldn't know about it, because I've only just started using the forums myself. I am such a nub. But before I wallow in the fact that I'm such a greenhorn when it comes to using the forum, just to let you know that all the challenges this week share the same deadline, and that is the 28th of September. Now kicking things off, you've got a gameplay challenge. It's a repeatable one, and it's called Double X. X gone, give it to you. Bark. I was so destined to be cool. But anyway, that challenge requires you to run around as a Nimble, and if you get 40 kills while running around using the Nimble body type, you're going to get 10,000 XP. Now the Speedy body type hasn't been ignored either, although to be honest I don't think it really wants to be recognised in this way, because it's the community suggested challenge by Hobo Johnny, and it's no speeding zone. Get ready to hand out some tickets, because if you kill 10 Speedies, you're going to bag yourself 5,000 XP, and once again it's another repeatable challenge. Now moving swiftly on, I'm going to talk about the Camo and the calling card, available this week to earn. But once again to stress, similar to last week, if you've already got them, don't bother going for the challenges, because you're not going to earn them again. So the Snowflake Camo this week is for the Gatekeeper, everyone's favourite submachine gun. And if you get 200 kills, why am I saying if? When you get 200 kills, you're going to bag yourself that Camo. Absolute doddle, just click your fingers and you'll pretty much have it instantaneously. On the other hand, the Kitty Camo is going to be significantly harder to earn, I think, because it's for the Bombardier. And if you dish out 60,000 points of damage with the Bombardier, you're going to earn yourself those kitty cats. Now unfortunately I haven't got the foggiest what to do with the Bombardier, but luckily there's two people that do, and their names are A Bowl of Fruit and GamingWithMack, because they've partnered together like some beautiful hybrid. I mean, to be honest, I've not seen anything this delicious since the pink and white squares in the Battenberg. But they've created a weapon guide for the Bombardier, so they go through the weapon itself, its attachments, then give you a loadout, just generally how to boss with a Bombardier. So go check out the video, I'll put a link in my description, so if you're going to go for those kitty cats, it's going to help you out immensely. And last but not least, there is a calling card to earn, which looks like this, and it's yours if you win 30 rounds of any game type. So taking into account the challenges that have been set this week, I've created a loadout which not only allows a steady stream of XP to keep coming in, because I'm following the guidelines set by the challenges, but also it embraces the hit and run nature that's inspired by the challenges, i.e. using the lighter body types. But as you can imagine, because we're using the lighter body type, we're going to be taking out a lot. So I've taken the hit and run class and turned it on a 45-degree angle to compensate for this. But without further ado, let me introduce you to my class for this week, the Evel Knievel Windbreaker. Now I'm running with the Gatekeeper with a silencer on it, simply because it's a reliable SMG, there's a challenge for it this week, and also it keeps me hidden. By using a silencer I'm not drawing unnecessary attention to myself, because I'm using a lighter body type. If I was to do that I would crumble quicker than a leaf underfoot. However, for those situations where it's a last chance scenario, if I'm going down, I'm taking someone else with me. So as my secondary, I've got a Chaperone with extended mags or penetrator ammo. It depends really on what the lobby is running with. Now the support item is the key ingredient for this class, the toxic gas, because this class is all about taking risks, balls to the wall gameplay. Forget this whole keeping your distance sniper malarkey. distance is for girls. It's all about charging in there, breaking wind, jumping back, and taking everybody out with the gatekeeper or the chaperone. Now, I know it's not for everybody taking risks. Some people like to keep their distance, but for me, there's times where it's just like, you know what, screw this, and I just charge straight in there, and the toxic gas allows me to do that and actually get away with some really naughty things, as you can probably see with this gameplay. Now, obviously, it's not the easiest thing to deploy, and that's why there is a gadget to help you out, and that is the inflatable insoles. Now, the insoles are perfect for this class because it allows you to jump into a mix of enemies, break open the toxic gas, and then use that second jump to get out of the way and then take them out from the outside while they're all dazed and confused. It's like a flyby farting. It's so fun, it's borderline trolling. And it's really effective. You'd be surprised how often you can get away with like 2-man, 3-man sprays as you see in the video, just because they're not paying attention and then it's too little too late. Not only that, but the insoles are very useful for them situations where you're getting pinned down by the enemy, especially in the close quarter situations. By using that second jump, it sort of throws the enemy off because they're still aiming down sight. Now, I'm running Nimble body type simply because there's a challenge for it this week. My first fun fact is regenerative, but sometimes it's horse healthy, and the same thing kind of applies to the second fun fact, which is either marksman or kind of bulletproof. It's down to preference at the end of the day. My rampage is eagle eye, just so I can see where all the enemies are, and also see where the groups are, so I can use toxic gas more effectively. And finally, my psych profile is paranoid, because let's face it, you're going to be taking out a lot this week. Not just because of my tactics, but because you're using the lighter body type, so you might as well make the most of all those revenge kills you're going to be getting. So that's my class for this week. Feel free to give it a go if you want, tinker with it as you will. I know the gun-ho approach isn't to everyone's liking, but you know, it's just a bit of fun at the end of the day. That's what the toxic gas is there for. So finally, I just want to take a few minutes to talk about contributions and collaborations, because iRage pointed out on a forum post a while ago, no other community to do with games is like this one. Very, very true. Everyone else is very selfish. But over here you see, regardless of size, you know, big channels, small channels, everyone's talking to each other, everyone's recommending each other, everyone's just basically giving each other props. You've got people like Morning After Kill, GamingWithMack spotlighting smaller channels on their own channel, basically telling people to check them out. You've got people doing dual comms and collaborating. So for example, GamingWithMack and A Bowl of Fruit working together on the Bombardier video, or Red Hammer SLA who did a video for my channel while I was away. But you've even got people like Muddled Muppet who do little videos about Twitter, video responses, things like that, just to increase the size and awareness and encourage smaller channels to get a bit bigger by getting out there and taking advantage of all the opportunities that are available to them. And it's great because you don't see that elsewhere. Like I said before, everyone's a bit more selfish. But I better wrap this video up because, you know, I'm turning it too much into a bromance. Thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed the gameplay and the commentary. Don't forget to rate, comment and subscribe. But you know the drill by now, people, don't you? Keep up the GGs and I will see you in the next video. Take care of yourselves.